I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah! I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. My way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet 'cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way.
Wow.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm excited. I was rubbing my hands together because I'm so excited. We have a ton of different things
Maybe I
to...
should rub mine too.
Yeah, all right, good. You're excited? We
Yeah.
we have a bunch of great topics here for you today, so thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of talking through a couple of things real quick. When you join, why don't you just go ahead and chat your name in and say you're here, right? And that's kind of
Roll
like
call.
an
This is
attendance thing.
roll
Yeah, it's
call.
like roll call or
Okay.
attendance, right? So as you jump in, just chat your name in and say whatever, right? Just put your name in. And that will help out for a bunch of reasons. And we know you're personally here watching it live, which is kind of the best way to do it. So if you can, that will help you out. Yeah, Shauna's making a list and she's checking it.
Attendance.
How many times are you checking your list?
Twice.
Twice. All right. Very good. So thank you guys for joining us. And the topics we're going to be covering today in super short order are going to be all about FamFest. I guess that's
We
the
changed
official...
the name.
Okay, cool. NTREIS increasing their fees
Yes.
and phishing emails. And we'll have
Not
some info.
this.
No, not that kind. So a phishing email and what that's all about and some that are going around.
Yep.
And then the 3 best ways to find a home in a hot market. All right. So we'll talk about that one there. So those are going to be the 4 topics for today.
Ooh, we better go.
So make sure you stay tuned for the final one because maybe that helps you guys out quite a bit, right? So without further, that is perfect. You guys all typed your stuff in. Major thumbs up. Nice
I see
job.
Katie.
No, that's really good.
Milsa, Lisa, Stacy, Anna, Omkar.
Wow. Very good. Thank you guys. That will help us out for sure.
Can I take a minute
We'll know
and say
who's
thank
there.
you to Omkar?
Yes, you can.
He's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, he's very impressive.
Yes.
And-
he does put up with me and never, he's always happy and
Yeah.
cheery and willing, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, Omkar.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate him every day.
Yeah.
And as he's been getting busier and busier, I'm like, no, we need to defend the time that we get to spend together. And it's a priority that we spend more time with him.
Yeah.
He's really super cool. So we gave, we chatted in his page the other day. I am on YouTube, his YouTube
watched
channel.
it in our-
I am Omkar D, and maybe plug it again if you could real quick, because the other day I was sitting
really
here
interesting.
during agent dinner and I was talking with Rachel, and Rachel's like, whoa, Omkar's kind of cool. And she was talking about all the different things, and she
Yeah.
had watched it, and I was like, yeah, he's really interesting.
Yeah.
So the more you kind of get to know him, he's part of our real estate family here,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you guys to get to know him just a little bit better. And the internet's an interesting way to do it when distance is decidedly an issue. So go ahead and chat that in there, and we'll get your link in, Omkar, when you get a chance, so we have it on the YouTube link so people can kind of follow you there please. And without further ado, you're good moving on to topic number 1?
Topic number 1.
All right, close it out. All right, so we have FamFest coming up. FamFest 2020.
So every year we have our agent training that we called the Summit, and I liked that. And then we had changed it to something else, like a family something. And I know there's
Keller does something.
Does that. I didn't want to do that, so we just decided on FamFest. So FamFest is what it's going to be this year, and the dates are December 7th.
Let's
8th,
show that off. Hang on.
and 9th.
So we'll give Omkar a second to pull up that, and we have a logo for it.
Yeah.
So here's the logo.
Megan got us a logo and everything. It's legit.
Super legit.
And we kind of even put together like a theme this year.
Okay.
And we call it Reset, Restore, and Revive. So, it's going to be a time to reflect back and just kind of reset and get ready for next year, and talk about all the things that happened this year and how we're going to move forward into 2021 and what changes may be coming. There's a lot of exciting changes that we've made here that we'll be rolling out, so we're excited about it. Now, this will be an option to do it in person here or virtual. So we're going to have those options set up. But again, it's December 7th, 8th, and 9th. If you're going to be present in person, you need to be here before 8:30 because we're going to have TNT, and then we're going to roll right into our FamFest. And this year, each day, we're going to have a class for CE credit that we're excited about, and there's some cool topics that we're going to have. We'll roll out the itinerary as soon as we get it confirmed and lined up. We're currently working through it still, but you're going to have 3 classes each morning to start it off. You have to log into these for the CE credit. It's 1 hour each, but each one you're going to have to log in, even if you're here. You're going to have to log in on a mobile device so you're able to get the credit. So we will talk more about that, but basically this is a save the date message for December 7th, 8th, and 9th. Starting at TNT and going on till the afternoon.
Very good.
Yeah.
And that'll be here at the home office in Frisco, and we'll go over that. And if you can, right, please tell me if you're going to be here in person.
No, we need to know.
Because what I need to do is be able to prepare for that. Mm-hmm. And when you come here, you need to bring all your devices, and we'll get you logged on to the network. Charged, ready to go. And the devices that you need to bring are your phone. And if you are going to be buying a new phone for some reason, and this is like device season, right? So if you're going to be buying a new device, please go ahead and do that if you can beforehand. Mm-hmm. And also do it a couple days before so you can log into everything and you're all good. That would be kind of like the perfect scenario. Because what happens is you'll want to be able to use all the new software on your updated device. If you go out right? So if you buy it for Christmas and then you get it on Christmas, then it's just like a month later. And then what happens is then you have to go back in and reinstall everything. So it'd be super nice if you came in, were able to log into everything, had all your software downloaded, kind of had everything done, and then you can learn how to do everything on the new device.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
And so that would be good. It would be great to bring your iPad with you. There's brand new iPads that are coming out, which are amazing. They have the Pro version. Yeah, I stopped in the other day and took a look at them, and I need to ask you which colors, and then we can get that all taken care of. So the new iPad, and it has the pen as well, right? So
I would suggest not waiting till that morning to get it going.
Oh no, I said a couple of days before, get it to make sure that they're totally good for that.
Yes,
make sure it's all done before that.
Yeah.
If you can. Right?
Yeah.
And that will make it easy. Yes, because if day one, all we're doing is logging people in, that's not the best use of our time. So please be ready for that.
Yeah.
And in person's gonna be good. Then bring your regular computer, all ready to go, your iPad, your laptop, and your your phone, of course, so you can have access to everything and all the required chargers for them. And then with, if you can, then we'll be meeting in person. I need to know who's going to be here.
We need to know in advance for sure if you're virtual or in person.
And then the version when we're going to be doing this on the computer, what we'll be doing is we have to record it. We have to put it out there on the internet. So this is a reminder to Omkar that we're going to have an extreme use of your time for these days because it's going to be live and we don't have the probably right on YouTube is going to be my guess. I don't know if it's going to be a private link because we don't want to be up live on YouTube for like 8 hours or whatever that is. We'll have to look through that. But
we'll work through that.
We will totally work through it.
Save the date and let us know if you're going to be in person or virtual. That's the important thing right now.
Topics covered range from everything on how to use your software, how to use log into everything, new marketing, talking about all the company stuff.
Yeah.
So we're super excited about it, and it kind of should, what is it, refresh, recharge?
Reset, restore, and revive.
Okay. So thank you. Very good.
Yeah. All right.
Perfect.
Close it out.
Close it out. Prices are going up.
Prices are going up. So your NTREIS, your MLS fee that you pay quarterly, which in the past has been $109.80, okay, is going to go up to $113 starting December 1st for your first quarter of 2021. So, it's what, $4.20
Per quarter.
Per quarter. And, Metrotex, which is the more of the Dallas area association, they implemented this last year. But we felt, we were just going to let it ride this year and not do that to the members. That was something that the board voted on to do. But this year, it's quite an increase to the association. So this year we had to, implement this fee, and it's minor, but, there's a lot of things going on at NTREIS, and they're putting in, they hadn't raised the fees in a while. So just to let you guys, make you aware that you'll see that on your next bill that comes out for CCAR.
Very good. Okay. So you said it's $4-ish per per quarter times 4, so it's 16, 20 bucks on an annual basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of is. And so how do these fees compare? Because now you're another association. Talk a little bit about that, because aren't people we're in a good situation here? I don't want to put you on the spot, but fees in Montana are decidedly different, right? Oh,
Lord. Yes. They're really expensive. Well, they do a lot on the front end.
Okay.
But it was extremely expensive for us to get licensed as brokers in Montana.
And get access. The access was an expensive thing. Mm-hmm. So I think you guys do a really good job here of controlling the cost to a reasonable number.
Yeah, for sure. Because they use the same pretty much core logic that we use here. It's very similar. So.
But then the expense is dramatic, right?
Yeah, like triple.
Like 3 times. Yeah. Very good.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. All right. So thank you guys all.
Aware of that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and close that topic on NTREIS. Phishing emails. Let's kind of talk about that, and let's first define it. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll work through the definition. I'll give you my personal definition. It's where somebody either imposters another or sends over a deceptive email with the whole intention being that the recipient does not know exactly what they're doing, and they are misleading you to take an action, to either click on a link, to install some software, to send some money to the wrong place. And the whole idea behind it is to basically steal your money, but to do it in a clever way.
This is very clever. It's
really scary. So that's a phishing email in general. There also can be phishing texts.
I just got one this morning.
We have challenges with them here as a company. There's somebody that does that every single time that somebody new kind of comes on with our firm. So the phishing texts happen. And basically what they're doing is they're sending a message and impostoring somebody else and saying like, hey, can you do this action for me? And it's the challenge is you have to be able to identify it.
Yeah.
And you need to know that it's not coming from them and it's out of the ordinary.
Well, this was new. If I could kind of just talk about this for a minute. So I got a FaceTime this morning from a past client, and it was another number. And so then they texted me after the FaceTime, like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. How are you? And so I looked at it, and it was him and his wife. Well, I have them both on my phone, but this one number didn't come up. So I went in and just created a new text and reached out to him and said, hey, did you just FaceTime me? And he said, nope, I didn't. So it was very clever that it came in as his number, right? Because I have him in my phone.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's really kind of scary. So apparently there's a new iOS bug that's out there, and it's doing some weird things. So, just be careful on that. Never reply. My suggestion, if something seems fishy, never just reply to that. Start a new email or a new text and reach out that way. And,
not to the same message, because they're using a spoofed address in some way, shape, or form, or spoofed number to be able to do that. So what we have is an alert here that came across. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift to Stacy.
Yes.
And she put some stuff together really quick for us, and we're super thankful for that.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and hit play, and we'll listen to Stacy and see what she has to say.
Guys, 'tis the season for email fraud, phishing, and wiring issues. So let's talk about what's going on. There have been several title companies in the immediate area that have unfortunately had emails sent out that look like they come from them. They're branded from that title company. The signature lines are completely branded, and they look like they are sent from closers at certain title companies. It's actually several title companies that we've seen in the area. I've talked to some other people in the industry, lenders and such, and they're seeing this across the board too. So we want to make sure that we are all on alert about fraudulent emails being sent out asking for funds to be wired prior to closing. The one I have in front of me, of course, brings in the COVID pandemic, but it says due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all funds should be wired to our trust account today to avoid a delay in closing. So that's just some of the email, but that's kind of what they're saying. They're using the pandemic. They're using, just kind of that tactic of, hey, we don't want to delay your closing, so here's what you need to do. So what does this mean for us? Well, what this means for us is just we need to educate our clients that title companies will not send out emails like this. They will not solicit funds directly like this. They will send a secured email with the wiring instructions for their office if you've asked for them. A lot of times they may send an email the day in advance before closing or 2 days in advance before closing in a secured email saying, hey, you need to bring this amount with you to closing via cashier's check or wire. Here are our wiring instructions. So they don't send emails out, way before closing asking for you to send money to the trust account to avoid a delay in closing. So just so we are all aware of that. Now, when you look at these emails, they do, like I said, have the branded signature line. But if you look up at the email, it has the person's name, but then a totally fictitious email address that does not belong to that person. So just always be aware of that. Now, we also need to educate our clients on when they receive wiring instructions. So once they receive these wiring instructions via secured email, they will need to verify the wiring instructions with the title company. They need to verify that they have the correct information on where to wire the funds. Now, if they ask us to do it for them, the answer is no. We do not want to be responsible for potentially transposing a number or passing along incorrect information. So this needs to be between the client and the title company. Now, if they have their bank verify with the title company, that's okay. That's between them, the bank, and the title company. But we do not want to be the person that verifies the wiring instructions to give to them. They need to do that. So please just be on alert and make sure that you are doing your due diligence to just educate your clients. I will be sending out information to all of our clients within the next 24 hours, just making them all aware that if they receive an email that does not look correct or that asks them to go ahead and wire funds, not to reply to it, to go ahead and just forward it to us so we can get it to the appropriate people to look at it. And we'll go from there. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I think we unfortunately may see more things like this towards the end of this year. It is towards the holidays. People are just getting, they're going to see what they can do. So let's just stay on our guard, stay diligent, and just know that most of the time you're not going to be asked to purchase something, send something, or do anything, and always call and verify. That's always the safest thing to do. So I hope everybody has a fabulous day. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Stacy. That was great. So, yes, like she said, just to reiterate, we have a policy, and our policy is that none of us are ever sending banking information or wiring instructions to a client, because that just kind of puts us in the middle. So everything's going to have to be from the title company directly to the client. And like Stacy said, most title companies now are using this secured portal that you have to log into to be able to access any of the documents, closing statements, wiring instructions, and all of that. And if you're not, you should be asking the question, or pick up the phone and call the title company and ask if it's really legit, because you want to be extremely careful with that. We had a situation last year with an agent that I know, and their clients, they were older, and they wired $50,000 to what they thought was the title company, and it wasn't, and it was gone. So, I don't know how that ever worked out, but it was a big rigmarole with the title company and who was responsible. And, these poor guys couldn't close on their home because they didn't have the funds. So it was very sad and unfortunate. And, things like this really bother me. People who prey on not just older people, but anyone to take their money that's not theirs just really is frustrating and sad. It's awful.
So sometimes I think about getting the big things in life correct, right? And kind of the smaller things, like they are what they are, right? There's certain things that are super important. So like not sending hundreds of thousands of dollars to the wrong address is a really big one, right? So a couple of tips on how to avoid that. Just bring a cashier's check to closing.
Yeah.
And that's easy. You go to the bank, you pick it up, you physically have the check in your hand, and then you hand deliver it to closing, and that eliminates that problem. Then you're not sending it over the internet. There are some times that you need to do that, where obviously there's some challenges, but you can often send it in advance, right? So if you're like, oh, my guy is not going to be in town or whatever, you can bring the physical check in, a week before closing, and that's totally fine. If your number's off and it's over, that's fine. They'll fix it, and they send you the money back.
Or you can bring a check up to $1,500 if there is, a difference.
So when we bought the lake property, we weren't exactly sure what the number was going to be. I didn't have every single thing. So what I did is I brought a much bigger number in advance. And there was, a lot of extra money. And then all they did is cut the check back. And it was done immediately. Yeah. And it was not a problem in the least. So you can always send more. And then it gets reissued right back to you immediately. Not a problem.
So the other issue is not just at closing, but, a lot of people don't have checks anymore, and they need a way to get their earnest money, their initial earnest money to the title company. Okay. And a lot of times I'm seeing they want to wire it. So, there is a new way to send it called Zocam.
Okay.
Or Zocam, I don't know how they pronounce it, but we've tested it out 1 or 2 times now, and it seems to work fine. So it's probably something that we'll discuss later once we've, sent money that way a couple of times and understand how it works. that it's another secure way to get the money there. So we'll talk to you about that. But please be careful, and please guide your clients. We've added something to Stacy's email because she's the one that's pretty much corresponding with the client once we get it under contract. So we've got we added something to her email to talk about the wiring as well, wire fraud. So,
all right. Is that something that you feel on our side that we should end up showing that off, or we should put an email together for this and send it out to our clients, to the clients?
I think we should implement it in her welcome letter, and I think we do that already. But yeah, we can talk about that and see if we need to tweak that or send out something additional.
All right. So Omkar, I just adjusted the screen there real quick. Do you mind if you switch back and show the monitor over here, and then I'm going to show my email and show you guys what we're speaking on. So this email that I came from happens to be from this company called Trusted Site. Mm-hmm. And if you look over here and you hover over where the email came from, it'll say exactly where it came from and what is going on and where the email is. So you can spoof the name here. So I can go to Gmail, and we'll switch back now. And so I can go to Gmail and I can change my name to whatever it happens to be, right? I could change my name to like Shana Acquisto if I wanted to. And it'll show up, the display name is Shana Acquisto. You just type it in. And then I could create it to be anything I wanted it to be on Gmail. So if I wanted to imposter Shana and try to do something like that, then I could be like Shana Acquisto Frisco, you know what I mean, at gmail.com. And the email, when it comes over, it looks like it comes from Shana. And then the address would not be her exact address, but it would look really similar. So it could say Shana Acquisto Frisco. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh, that's probably Shana's email address. And, you know, possibly do something wrong. So don't do that. Don't reply to that email, especially if it seems phishing. At least pick up the phone, call her on the phone number that you have, or directly email her separately from this thing, or text her or whatever. But like, get confirmation before you do anything crazy. Yeah. That's about all it really comes down to.
Yep. All right.
Let's close that topic. Okay. Thanks. What time do you have to go? All right. 3 best ways to find a home in a hot market. So everyone's been clamoring for this topic, and it's decidedly an issue.
Clamoring.
There's a lot of locations across the country, and we happen to be in one where there's a hot market. And it's not every single price point all the time, but there'll be these hot spots that pick up. And we've had a bunch of them recently. You had one that had just a ton of offers in a super short period of time, right?
Yep.
Do you remember any of those kind of numbers?
They were 35,000 above.
How many offers did you get on that one property or showing? So it was just like outrageous.
Yeah. It was like 70 or something. It was nuts.
So it was like 70 showings.
All weekend,
it was ridiculous in one weekend, and then only one person can buy it.
Yeah.
So in that,
and it was actually Jody's listing, but they were, she was like answering the phone as fast as she could. They were calling us, and I mean, it was totally crazy.
So that's considered a hot market. And that was because there are certain things that come up. Mm-hmm. And whatever that happens to be, whether it's the hot school, whether it's the correct floor plan, whether it's the right price, whether it's the directional facing, whether it has a pool, whether like it's on the proper city and the proper school. There's a bunch of different things that come into play. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden your client could be looking for that. Yeah. Right? Or you as a client are looking yourself. And what you want to find out is, how do I get this home in the hot market? I know I'm going to have a problem.
Well, first off, how to find it. So you're going to have to not just wait for your client to get the search and then send it to you. We do have the ability to send out coming soons to our clients, so they have kind of a heads up that it's coming. But what we've started doing here is we have, show me your listing on Friday, where it's kind of evolved into also, if you have a buyer that's looking for something specific, let us know, because if we have something coming up, it's good to know. We have my 2 broker networks that I belong to that we can put that information out there. And if they have something coming up in 2 or 3 weeks that, is not in coming soon status yet, they might let us know. So try to do things and be a little proactive. Don't just wait for your client to get the search. You're going to have to be actively searching for properties yourself. So that's one thing.
Well, so that's point number one, is work with a great agent that knows and cares. That's super important, is they have to actually care, right? And that's kind of the big thing here, is we really, really preach that, and we have that's what, like, just what we live on a daily basis, is truly caring and doing the right thing. Yeah. And so it comes down to speed, and it comes down to not listed properties, and it comes down to putting your client first and having them do each of those things within there. So that great agent is also going to, like, find those off-market properties, find them before they come, like get to the front of the list. But then they're going to also help you put together a nice narrative and put together a letter and have a reason and talk and create and have a bond with the other agent. It's so nice when you can call up the other side and be like, oh, we did a deal together. That was great. And, oh, do you know Shana? That's one of the big things. I was kind of speaking on that the other day with Shana, and I was like, do you know how often in a calendar year you reach out for an agent, or the agent says, hey, just like tell your broker that Shana said hi, or one of those different things, right? And it matters. Having a great agent matters in that relationship. And the reputation that you or the company has done in the past. And you can always talk to the other side, be like, we always close on time, the lender's great, there's all these things, right? So we're gonna have a great network that matters. And when the other side knows, like, hey, Shauna's gonna make sure it happens for us, right? And she can do everything she can, and you've done tons of deals with us in the past, and you have a history. So that relationship does matter, because the other side's looking at it, and from their perspective, everything, I have this word I use, it's called squintable. So everything kind of looks the same. If you, like, squint your eyes, the offers all look the same or extremely similar, and they don't know anybody. So they're looking at it from that perspective. So imagine in multiple offers, you have all these contracts all over the place. And you're like, let's line them up, like sort them by price, sort them by time to close, sort them by this, sort them by that. And then you overlay it, and with all the data, they're all really, really similar. Yeah. Now, how do I pick it? You look at them and you're like, well, all the names, I don't know any of these names. So how am I going to pick it based on a name? That's not a way to do it.
Well, I can tell you about
How do I pick it based on the other agent? Right? I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, and that's where the agent kind of matters. So, like, oh, I've done deals with that person, and oh, they have a really good reputation, right? Like, oh, she was recently,
I mean, it does matter, because at the end of the day, you can only select one offer, and you want to know it's secure, right? So some of these things are just your terms. There's some different ways to work the terms of the contract that really sets you, apart from the other offers. But I can tell you, from the receiving end of offers, it amazes me every single time. And I think Susan just had this. How many offers come over incomplete? And if that's how they're doing their business, that, each thing that's incomplete or scattered all over the place and not consistent, doesn't make you feel well on how this deal is going to go and your ability to get to closing with this particular offer, right?
Yeah, the great agent matters, and they're going to send the offer across correctly in a nice, easy bullet point email with all the stuff done correctly. And imagine on that other side, if you give them an offer that they actually can't sign. You were going through that, and I can't remember how long ago. It was with Linda, but we went through that exact thing, and I believe you had like 24 offers on one property. Yeah. And of that, I think you said you had like 8 of them that you could actually sign and send back.
All out here in the
all of them were like, they didn't have this, they didn't have that, this number was wrong, it was like filled out wrong, it wasn't initialed on this page. It's just amazing. Out of all of those offers, the small percentage that actually you could sign and send back and have an executed contract without being like, hey, could you like kind of do the contract right? So that comes down to the great agent again. So we hammered that
Yeah.
Number one,
so
most enough.
Letter, terms, make them feel, you want them to feel super comfortable with your offer. Make that phone call, have your lender call. There's all these things that we can dive into on how to get your offer accepted. But, how to find a home in a hot market, we talked about being proactive. The other thing is, I'm a huge fan of, and a lot of people aren't.
Point 2 from Shana is?
Backup offers.
Okay.
To me, they're not thinking about that. The seller is so focused on this primary offer and they just accepted it, so their confidence that it's going to get to close is pretty high, or they wouldn't have accepted it.
Correct.
So this is a great way that you can ask the agent, would they be willing to look at a backup offer? We love this house. And you put together a great backup offer, you slide it in, they accept it. And, a lot of times, it was, I don't know the exact percentage now, but the last couple of years, it's been around the 30% of contracts fall through. They fall out.
So imagine if, you're trying to be in a multiple offer and you're one of even 10, right? So the odds statistically of getting selected if everything's the same is 10%. Well, if you go into a backup offer situation and you're number 2 in line and they fall out at 33%, that's just without a backup offer, they fall out at 33%.
Yeah.
So that means that 1 out of 3 times you'll move up. So that's a lot better than 10%. So we increased your odds. Now, the properties, when you put the backup offer in, it applies pressure between the seller and the client. And what happens is it creates a little friction because all of a sudden the seller has this confidence. They're like, whatever, no, I'm not going to fix that. No, I'm not going to do this. But the buyer on that side feels, I just paid whatever for your house. I did all of this. Like, I gave you this super premium offer. So buyer thinks seller should do everything for me. Right. Seller in this situation says, hey, I've had all these offers. I've had all these offers. I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not fixing that. I'm not doing this. I'm not, like, whatever it is, right? And there becomes friction. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm not doing that. And then add on to it, hey, I have this extra confidence that there's this more like grass is greener on the other side, this other secondary offer, a backup offer, that makes me feel even better now. And if then all of a sudden it's like, we're out. And it just more friction. So now it falls out at a much higher rate. And I think the number that I saw last was that it's 33% fallout when there's no backup offer. When you put a backup offer behind it, that number increases dramatically.
Yep.
And it's almost 50% fallout in that scenario with that pressure applied.
So remember that when you're also a listing agent, because if you have that backup offer, then you're not starting over from scratch. So I'm a huge fan of backup offers.
But you'd rather take the first one because you did it for a reason. So now when you're doing it and you're selecting it, make sure that you're setting the proper expectation with the client and being like, hey, we're not going to act like this. We're going to do it right. We're going to kind of forget the fact that we had all of this and understand how the other side's going to feel and why, and how we're going to act and why, and let's move forward. Because you picked that other offer for a very specific reason, right?
Yeah.
And whatever that is.
And things could happen.
So
Someone could lose their job. It's not just in their option period that these things happen. So
that was number 2.
Yep, number 2.
Great way. Seen tons of success with it.
Yep.
And the last, number 3, is?
Be sincere. Truly be sincere. Don't just fire off an offer. And, sometimes we get them and it feels almost like that they're just sending them out, right? They're just sending them out and seeing what'll stick. And that is not the way to do it. Be sincere. Have your clients write a letter. It makes a huge difference. And not just a letter, a template, dear sellers, address it to the owners. Do your due diligence, know who they are and what their names are, and address it specifically to them. And let them know truly, why does your client want this home? What do they love about the home, right?
I can see our family using the home in this way. And our youngest son Trevor would totally love and appreciate doing this. And this is how we would use it in the winter. And in the summer, we would really love the outdoor kitchen space and whatever that is to hang out with our friends and insert names, right? Like you can see all these things and you're creating a bond. And they're like, oh, I have a friend named. And it's just the weirdest things that make that connection.
Yeah.
And whatever that happens to be.
You truly love that house. And it's, you know, people are emotional. And when they hear something like that, it not only flatters them, but you feel good that somebody's coming in and they're going to appreciate and love your home as much as you did. So, you know, the letter goes a long way.
But then the sincerity of like, we truly want this and why, right? And when we can close and what you're willing to do and not overstate, but just be truthful. The other side wants to close. That's why they put their home on the market. They have something else they want to do next, whatever that is, right? They're moving to another home.
And it's probably contingent.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what they're looking for is they want somebody that they can trust on the other side. So just be truly sincere with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it'll most likely line up.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay.
Call the other agent and say, hey, here's a little bit about my clients. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of offers. Do something that sets you apart. You know, make that phone call and be sincere. Have your lender call. This is huge. If you also, you know, I have a template that I'll send out that includes Stacy and the lender and kind of everybody, and let them know that our real estate family is super excited to work with them, and just introducing them to one another. And so they feel good about the whole team. And then, you know, you include the lender and the lender will respond to say, hey, if you have any questions, these guys are super solid. They're ready to go. And then all of a sudden they feel, oh, these guys are seem like they're going to be nice to work with. They've got all their ducks in a row. It seems super, you know, solid, not risky.
All right. So we've been talking on this topic for just a little bit too long. But we added I know we have a problem. We actually really like real estate. But we think we added quite a bit of value for you, and we hope that you as an agent are able to use this, or you as a client kind of can find the right things to look for and identify.
For sure.
So let's go ahead and hit the bell and wrap that topic up, please. And we'll go to That's a Wrap and get the heck out of here.
Bing.
Hey, Shana.
Wrap it up.
We talked a lot today, but we hope that everybody enjoyed it.
You out of breath?
No, I'm not. Like, I'm able to talk still.
Okay,
That's
good.
not a problem. But so we covered quite a few things with FamFest. We covered how to log in and say your name when you show up so we know who's there. It is good if you log in late to just watch the live edition, and then you can go back and recover from the front whatever you missed afterwards. And phishing emails, NTREIS fees going up, and ways to find a home in a hot market for either an agent or for a client, kind of like both of them.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
That's about it.
That is all. Thank you guys very much. We will see you later.
See ya.
Goodbye. Bell.
It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up. Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah. I know this'll be the day. Everything will be okay. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crime. myself